Hello again. So it's another day and it's raining. So they predicted a little bit of rain for today, but I really didn't expect it to do much. But it's been raining for a couple hours, not heavy, but enough that I'm going to wait until it's done. And then I'm going to go clean out my big flower tub that's right on the end of the cactus garden on the other end of the house and add some new flowers to it for this year because I got to have a little bit of color. And then I'll get back to the rest of my maintenance over here. So as soon as this rain stops, a couple hours, and it's cold, and yeah, you can see the wind blowing. It's breezy out here. I'm kind of tucked in under the garage. But when the wind dies down a little bit and the rain stops, then I'll get out and get this done today because I want to get these planted today. And it's going to heat right back up starting tomorrow. I think it's going to be in the 80s. And then it's going to go back up into the 90s. So I need to get however much stuff I want to get done early today before it starts warming up. Because then I'll be out working in the heat. But that's okay. You know, I just get stuff done early. So I'll check back in when this rain stops. Okay, so we're back. And it's been 2 days because it rained all day. Today is Tuesday, so I believe that was, Sunday? It rained all day. And then, or was that Saturday? What day was that? Anyway, yesterday it was windy all day. Today is Tuesday, and it's nice. It's about, looks like 60 degrees. It's 10:30. It's beautiful. Some clouds, a little breezy. And I'm going to get all these planted up. I put the carnations in the back, and I pulled these, are those pansies? What are those? That's not what they are. That's not what they are. You know what? I don't think I have a tag in these. But I pulled those out from the pot in the back because they were just, you know, I think it's too hot back there for them. So I'm going to try and tuck them in under here and see if they do well. Now, I really should pull out all of this stuff and start completely over, but I don't want to because these daisies are still looking really good, and they're just blooming like crazy, and there's a ton of, you know, new buds that are developing. So I am going to pull, I think whatever is over here out. I'm going to take out that citronella, obviously all these grass weeds, and I'm going to try and fill in the back. So let me get started by pulling all this stuff out. Okay. So I do need to, let's move this guy here. I am going to need to get back in here. I'm going to move you. Oh, the sun is just beating on this poor camera already. hold on, I'm going to pause you. I got to move it out of the way for a minute. Okay, so I got that out actually pretty easy. The root wasn't bad. There's probably still a lot of them down in there, but I don't think it's something that's going to grow back, so I'm not really worried about it. And I think what I'm going to do is break some of these dead pieces off. Come here, you. You know what? I was just going to pull this one out, wasn't I? Because it doesn't look good. And I got enough other stuff in here. I think what I'm going to do is try and tuck some plants that I pulled from the back right in here, because I think they're too hot back there. They get full sun all day long, and yeah, I think I'll put them there. Okay, this is getting way too much water in here, so I probably need to start hand watering it instead of just turning on that little hose that I have there and letting it run. I don't think it has any drainage, so I think I think what I'm going to do is have Dave come out with the drill and drill a few holes on the low end, which I think is on the far end there, and help this drain. So I won't need to water anything I put in here, because I watered all these plants yesterday in their pots. So let's see if I can get them planted in here. Some of these have pretty big pots, and so they're going to take a little more work. And I'm going to plant them kind of at an angle. I'm not going to plant them like straight, because I know it'll look kind of funny the way I do this, but when it grows in, it'll look better from the front. Because a lot of times the plants on the one side, they don't do well because they don't get enough sun back here. Yeah, it feels pretty soft. I should be able to dig in there. That over there. So what I got was I got a couple salvias. These are called Mojave Red. I'm gonna put one on each side. And then I got two of these Evolution Violet. And those will all get about 10, what did I say, 10, 12, 14 inches tall. So I'll put those in the back. And then I got a couple of little 6-packs of these little celosia that I'm going to put kind of around in here. I'm going to be burying some of my oxalis, but that's okay. I'm going to stick those in there because they'll grow up a little bit taller, and they're just assorted colors. And then you know what? I did get a bunch of, what is this? I got a bunch of these little small, these little kind of mixed colors, also salvias. How far apart are you supposed to put these? 10 inches apart. Yeah, they're not going to have that much room. Maybe I'll just leave that in there. And yeah, I really bought way too much stuff for here. So I bought a bunch of petunias also, but they're not going to fit in here unless I pull out all these daisies, and I really don't want to do that because I like the way the daisies are looking. So let's just do these ones first and see. God, this purple shamrock over here it's grown through the bottom of this pot into the ground, and the ones that are in the ground, they're literally 4 inches across. They're absolutely massive, and they're covered. I don't know if you can see that, but they're covered with flowers right now. See how pretty those are? And look at the size of some of these ones are kind of faded because they're not getting a lot of sun down in there, but this one here, that's one. It's absolutely massive. Look at that. Okay. But the ones in here are tiny. I just think they're really, really cute. Okay, I'm going to put you back over here. Of course, you're falling down. Is that going to stay? Watch it for a second. Looks like it's going to stay. All right, so let me start. Hey, no, go on. I just caught one of the dogs eating the leaves off of one of these salvias. I need to check and make sure those are not toxic. Well, I've planted them before many times, and I've never had an issue with the dogs eating them that I've noticed. So hopefully that's not, he ate half a leaf, but I need to check that. Go that way right now. Go. Go. Okay. Can I dig this out by hand, or do I need a little shovel? Let's see. Put you over here. I'm gonna basically be upside down here. Whoa. Whoa. Go. Go on. Raider, go. Go. He thinks I'm not looking, he can just sneak right back over. Now this is nice and soft. This is really wet. So yeah, I'm gonna have to have Dave, I think, drill a couple holes in there. And because there's three of these in each one of these. I'm not gonna separate them because I want them to be nice and full. And I think these will grow pretty quickly. Now they do like water. I know that because I've grown them before, and they do really well as long as I remember to water them. All right, how am I gonna? I guess I didn't really think this through when I put this here with a big rock in front of it, and then I let all of this sedum grow up here. Whoops. My poor little starling trying to get to her nest. Okay. How does one get back into there? I guess I'm gonna have to go over the top again. Well, I'm probably gonna have my butt in the camera again. I apologize. But I think I need to go gently here, and then here. Whoa. And then here. Okay. So I can dig out a hole here. Yeah, this this is like digging in to the mud, but it is good draining soil. It's pretty gritty down in there, and oh, you know what? Okay, that one's not gonna get it, but I wanted to put some fertilizer in there, some starter fertilizer for these guys. I'll be back. All right, now to get back in here, very carefully. Try not to put my muddy hand on the wall too. All right, another issue I had with the dogs was trying to eat the fertilizer. I caught them in the fertilizer a couple of times. And this fertilizer is 100% organic. Raider, no. He keeps coming back over. It's kind of hard to watch what I'm doing and watch him at the same time. There we go. I'm gonna throw dirt at you in a minute. Go on. Okay, and then another one right here. I watch a channel called Garden Answer with Laura and Aaron, and they're in, well, she was in zone 6 and then they changed her to zone 7, but she still considers herself zone 6 because of the amount of snow and frost or whatever they get. But if you don't watch her channel, hunt it up on YouTube, Garden Answer. You would not believe the amazing stuff she does in her gardens. She's got this huge property. Well, actually, I think it's only like 12 acres. I mean, they add on to the property whenever they can, when the neighbors sell. But her gardens are incredible. Her parents have a garden center, so she's been basically her whole life a gardener, working in her parents' garden center in the summers, I think, when she was a kid, or whenever. Try to keep this plant there. I need to dig this one a little bit deeper than the last one. But she just has a knack for putting stuff together and just making it look amazing. And she just got in this huge order. This kills my back. She's got in this huge order. Oh man, I didn't notice when I bought this one one of the plants is snapped off. So I got gypped. I only got 2. This one's missing right here. I'll turn it this way. But that's all right. It'll fill in a little bit. Stand up, you. All right. Okay. Those are all tucked in. I squished these a little bit, but that's okay. Oh, I forgot to put fertilizer in that one. What am I thinking? Roly-polies. Maybe if I just mix them down in the soil, when I water it, it'll water in. All right. To get out of here and don't kick anything over. Now, so those will fill in that back corner. These will be in the front. And then I want to I really have to watch that fertilizer. I don't know why they want to eat it. Go. Raider. But they do. I don't know what's in it. Okay, so here I want to do these. Okay. Let's put this one forward a little bit. Oh, my butt is burning. Okay, and these 2 are gonna go back here. Whew. Shoe fly. I'm gonna put one down in here. Dog, what are you doing? I don't know what's going on with this one, but it's got some new growth coming in, so I think it's okay. Poor little thing. Maybe this fertilizer will give these little scraggly starts that just pop themselves in there a bit of a boost. Okay. That in there. I bought a whole bag of soil to put in here, but I don't think I really needed it. It's still pretty high. Oh, my back. Alrighty, let me, I don't think I'm going to get these pansies in here. Or petunias. Not pansies, but petunias. Alright, so we're going to pause this. And I'm going to wait for it to cool down. But, yeah, I'll clean up my mess here. But so typically, when it grows, the taller stuff is kind of back in that area and the shorter stuff is here because of the way the sun hits it. But look at all these daisies now opening up. Look at how cool this one is. And then pretty yellow. I love these reddish orange ones. That one's really dark. They're so pretty. Yeah, and there's so many more coming in that I just didn't want to pull them out. These, I think I planted them in the fall last year. But that looks better. I did clean up a lot of this stuff on the ground back in that corner. So I'm going to let it cool down. I'm going to clean up the mess, and then we'll come back and figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of this stuff. Maybe I'll just go get another pot and make another pot of flowers out here. You know, maybe I'll find something that'll, I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll figure it out. We'll be back. Okay. So it's been a week, actually. And I don't know if you can hear in my voice, but I've been sick. I got another cold. Lucky me. But it was a quick one. It only lasted a few days. But of course, the cough wants to linger. And the dogs have gotten in here a couple of times and dug a couple of these little, what are those? What are those called? I forget the name of them. I think I mentioned earlier I was a little concerned with whether or not some of these plants were toxic to dogs. And I did Google them, and they're not. So the salvia is fine. I got a bunch of those in there. These other ones, and what was the other thing? Oh, the oxalis. That one is toxic. So, and it can cause, I think it said kidney failure or something like that. But the dogs don't mess with it. They don't eat it. I think animals, for the most part, kind of know instinctually, what they can eat and what they can't. And I'm not saying that animals don't eat things that are bad for them, because I have had a vet bill from my horse eating, what do we call it? It's a plant that's in the nightshade family. And my dogs used to eat it all the time. They would eat the berries off of it, and it never bothered them. Poke plant. We called it a poke plant or something like that. Yeah. And, but my horse ate a bunch of it and was sick for a couple days. I called the vet out, and she was fine. The vet said it just had to kind of, work its way through her system. There wasn't anything they could do. But I could just tell she wasn't feeling good for a few days, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was, because she ate a bunch of it. Pokeweed, that's what we call it. Yeah, and it's in the nightshade family. It gets these purple berries that my old dachshund Schnitzel that I used to have, he used to eat the berries off of it all the time, and I didn't know what it was, and it never bothered him. But once I realized what it was, I think I looked it up or whatever. Anytime I find it, I get rid of it now. I didn't notice this mess under here. I need to get down there and clean that up. I'm so stuffed up. But I might put something in that little hole, because he pulled a couple of plants out and I couldn't find them. So I don't know if they drug them off into the lawn somewhere or what. But I do have a bunch more of these little things over here. And so what I did with the rest of them, look out. I don't know what my starlings are eating all of a sudden. They're finding, but look at how purple their little droppings are all over everything, and it stains. But it's too early for blackberries, but they're finding something that's turning their poop purple. Oh, I'm so stuffed up. So over here, I went and I got a couple more of these I had that one there already, and I bought 2 more of these. They're pretty cheap at Home Depot. They were only like $20. So I got a couple of, I think these are called coleus, and then petunias, and then these I think were called impatiens. I'm not a flower person, and I've never really planted a lot of flowers, so I just kind of want to try and see how these do. But it says they can take full sun to shade, all of these, so they're going to get shade throughout the morning half of the day, and then they're going to get sun in the afternoon, because this palm tree shades them a little bit until about, I don't know, I think around 4, and then they get hit with some full sun. But we'll see how they do. I just picked a bunch of colors because I like them, and I'm probably gonna, once I finish dealing with that stump there, I'm probably gonna mound some dirt over the top of it, and then probably set this in the center there, and the same with that one over there. And then this one, I'll probably just leave it right there. But this one has those begonias that keep coming back each year. This is the 3rd year. And you can see, look how big that leaf is already. I mean, these were completely gone. You couldn't even see a speck of it over the winter. And then they just pop back up. I only put 2 of them. What I should do is next year go buy a couple more that match and just fill that. And then this stuff was completely gone too. And it's really come back, the Tradescantia. But yeah, the petunias, they should grow and kind of fall over the edge. And then I think these are salvia. I put some more of these in here just because I had a bunch of them. Oh, I'm so stuffed up. Can't breathe. It's crazy. But yeah, that's what I did. And I actually still have, if we'll come over here, I do still have a bunch of leftover. Oh, here, let's see what these are called. There's a tag in here somewhere. Celosia. I really like these. They get really tall. I've had these before. And then I have like a purplish, a yellow. This one's more of an orange, and then some red ones. And then I still have all of these little, are these pansies? What are these? I pulled them out of the pot in the back, and I need to stick them somewhere because they'll come back. They're pretty tough. But yeah, that's what I did. So I'm done with this little section over here. I do have some more weeds to pull out. Dave wants to cut these 2 palm fronds down, but I keep making him, I have to duck under it, and I'm only 5'7", and I keep making him wait until my plants kind of acclimate before he cuts those down so the plants don't get scalded. But yeah, I do have a couple tiny little weeds here and there, and then some of this, I just call it all clover, but I've had people come on and tell me it's not clover. I'm surprised you don't know what you're talking about when you have a plant channel. It looks like clover to me, but I guess some of it is called, what did they call it? Which I Googled, and it didn't look anything like that. What was the word? I'll put it on screen. To me, it's all clover. It looks like clover. Look at the grass. I've called it clover my whole life. The bees love it. So I don't worry too much about it growing in the grass because it'll have, you can see, I don't know if you can see. There's just little white flowers everywhere. And so I let the bees go after them. Oh, I did prop this up, planted it back down in there. It's starting to get roots because it keeps falling over. And I just propped it up with rocks. And it actually feels really, it doesn't move at all now. So hopefully it'll stay. I should cover this up because it's going to get hot later. My hedgehog's about to bloom. Look at all those little buds on there. Kitty cat. But yeah, I need to put some more top dressing in. I need to get the blower out and blow some of the, these old dead leaves. But I got a lot of this side done. I need to start working over there. I was going to start that today, but now Dave wants to plant out in the garden. He wants to do the cantaloupes and watermelon and stuff. So I'm just babbling. I will end this here. I might actually pull a couple of these out there. I still see more buds coming in though. See, I see more new ones coming in. But there's so much, ouch. There's another new one. There's so much old ones. Maybe I could just deadhead that a little bit. I don't know. But there's still so many flowers. This just looks like a hot mess. But when those grow up, at least I'll have some color. And I'm not real picky. It's not like anybody's going to come and, grade me on this. There's not going to be anybody looking at it but me and all of you. So, I don't know. I just like the color. I love purple and red in the garden. So, if you are still watching, thank you. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I will appreciate that. And I will see you next time.